Leo, how you doing, guys? So we are here with your Mercury retrograde reading from October the 31st until November 20th, but this is also going to be a part of your November reading. How you doing, Leo? I nearly said Libra. Leo. It's all right. It's kind of rhymes, right? But we might be dealing with a Libra. But anyway, so you had two jumping cards. I'm going to see what these are for a start and then see what we can do. But the High Priestess. The High Priestess. So I think this is nostalgia of wondering what to do about a situation that seems to be arisen by trying to engage on your intuition. Because this is kind of like that you're unsure of the future, where it's kind of like a yearning feeling of like it's either mourning over someone or missing someone is what I'm hearing here. What am I hearing right presently? So you've got Sagittarius energy. So you might be at odds with the Sagittarius of an agreement or disagreement, or agreeing to some kind of terms and conditions. Terms and conditions on an agreement of that you kind of know the future, but you're still willing to, like, you're in discussions about something. So coming out of whether you relate to the star sign of Sagittarius or not, it's kind of coming to terms and conditions with something that could be a move or could be something that's changing in the environment, because I'm picking up a lot of environmental stuff in the background of this card. Environments, like environments and times and things are shifting. Times, shifts. So I'm picking up on like work shifts, something to do with shifting or moving or literally moving, but I'm picking up shifts, like, because the time's shifting and the time's changing, but something's shifting. Your shifts might be where there are long hours and you're like yearning for this person in order for communication to come through more clearly, or it could be making room and space for the relationship through feeling of nostalgia that can come up through also retrograde. But two very strong cards if you look back to the Rider-Waite, which is obviously the High Priestess and Temperance. So it's generally where things have come together through this time of what I experienced through a lot of my life experiences. My girlfriend's actually Leo. But which is to do with environmental change as well, because this is very environmental if you look in the back there, okay? But you might also see someone as mental, or they might see you as mental. But mental, chicken oriental at this period of time, right? A bit like where environments are changing and we have to learn as souls that things have to change and time has to change in order for us to keep up with it, that we need to change ourselves for the environment. Some people can stay in a protocol of life to do with a lot to do with the mundane thing of where life change but people don't change, and they always remain to do the same thing, the same way, the same time, all over and over again. And then what we have to learn and experience through life is the fact that we need to catch up with the times, but normally you go through that with your parents and stuff, right? Right? So it might be something that you're going through with a parent also, or co-parenting or child, but this is like, it can be at odds with someone. If it is, it's kind of like odds and evens, right? Odds and evens, because it looks like odds, but there's an even couple, there's an odd couple, and then there's an even person in the middle. It's kind of like, look, why don't you look into milk? I am looking into that actually. But something to do with drinks, like health, putting the health back into a relationship, and putting some colour back into. Oh, wow, that could be it. You might have found something very colourful in your life, because you've got kind of like non-colourful, colourful. It's kind of like heading towards making the relationship dynamic or factor of life more of a colourful situation. Okay, so it's like bleak times, colourful times, bleak. By order of the Peaky Blinders, I'm going to make a statement. Someone might be making a statement, or there might be a policeman. Sorry, Leo. Someone's going to make a statement. Right, someone could well be making a statement. Sorry, that's a personal thing. Making a statement, or a claim of something, or they might be claiming you as if to say, "You're mine, you Tarzan, me Jane, you come with me." But making a statement of like, "Come this way, laddie," like a claim, like you're claiming one another. There's some kind of claiming is what I'm hearing. Claiming to... So this card, if you look at here, two people are like claiming to know everything. and there's two people that are claiming to like try to see eye to eye. The guy here is kind of like, well, I'm kind of being persuaded, and the woman's like, well, no. And the guy's like, well, nah. It's learning to live with and without you kind of thing is what I'm hearing. With or without you. I can't live with you, I can't live without you, I can't live without you, you know. Yeah, Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus for November. Mercury retrograde reading. Sun, Moon, Rising on Venus. So it all starts to come good because you've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. So a lot of this can also to do with family nostalgia, but you've got a lot of reflection that's going to be going on where you're going to be thinking, feeling about family, hanging around with family, also the soulmate, you know, the experience, the love. This is, like I said, the relationship factor of life. When it starts to change, you realise that your environment starts to change, that people starting to act differently. So people are either trying to act out or they're not acting out, but their environment changes where you meet new soul groups of people, and then everybody starts to, why don't you come on over to my place? Why don't you go over to their place? You know, why don't you meet the family? Meeting the family is also what I'm hearing. Feeling very family oriented. Some of you could be thinking about children, or this is actually just family in general. Now, families, as I'm picking it up, whether they're Sagittarius or not, there can be some conflicts between family. If you're a Sagittarius and you're watching this, so you got it in your chart, or your partner is, I'm just picking it up. There's a between family, where the people could have a large family during this time, and it's making room for setting up location of placements. Okay, placements. Place. I keep picking up place. Come on over to my place. My place. The place. Let's see. Leo, something rising in Venus for November. Thank you. So, you've got, what have you got? What have you got? What have you got, Steve? The Hermit and the Empress. Wow, so you've got a strong reading coming out. The Ace of Blades. The Ace of Blades. We'll take these two as well. Okay, so building, working, creating, trying to level. Level. I'm picking up leveling out. Leveling out, odds and evens to do with money, just about level. We are just about even now. Sorry, but I am picking it up. The level here, and then we're just about even now. We're just about making it. We're just about even on this. If there's an argument that's arisen with a person that could be Sagittarius, you might be leveling out, because I'm picking up eye level and also leveling out. So you might be just balancing things out. If that's to do with money that seems to be coming up, then you're just about like floating around the ideas of breaking even. Okay, even. That would also be to do with temperamental energy of like being snappy, watching what we do, what we say. There's a lot to do with that during retrograde, because retrograde is obviously to do with communication, and the majority of that comes from your mouth. What? Steve, what did you just say? Yes, the majority of information comes from our head, and then it is spoken as words that you can't retract, and that's why it could be a statement. Okay, so leveling out is what I'm hearing also. But a great new idea that could be arisen through this, as well as this being an Ace of Coins. We'll go on to the other cards, but I've got to go with the two that I see at the moment. So the Ace of Coins. So you've got a big opportunity at work, but also to build something new, because this person's building something new because he's starting it also from the ground up. So whatever it is, it could be an idea that could eventually start to be profitable, or you could be seeing the profit of someone, or you could be becoming a prophet, obviously, because of the High Priestess. It could be Piscean. Pisces or Virgo, possible Libra. Okay, that might be why I picked up on Libra for a start. But leveling up spiritually, where you're awakening obviously to numbers and stuff, but crunching numbers is also what I'm hearing, like crunching numbers, facts, figures, putting the relationship under a microscope and really studying something also to do with work, but really studying something under a microscope that's probably needing close attention to. But this is the Ace of Blades, so it's the Ace of Swords. So truth about something medical, also that you might be researching of anything medical. There might be some research to do with anything cosmetic is also what I'm hearing, cosmetic, but anything medical. Or anybody anybody that doesn't give you the truth, you're putting under the fine-tooth comb of an inspection. I keep picking up inspection. The inspector, something to do with the inspector or the interpreter. But so it could have to do with travel plans, moving, the Ace of Wands, written work. It's all got to go under like a final agreement is also what I'm hearing. Now, the Hermit, so you've got the Six of Cups, obviously, so everything's kind of looking rosy and Jim. So it might have something to do with children. But Rosie and Jim, I don't know if you're from the UK, there used to be a thing called Rosie and Jim. But anything, but anything but everything changes but you. You're 1,000 miles apart, but you know I love you, girl. We say goodbye, just one more kiss before I have to go. Sorry, stop singing, Steve. Studying, there you go, studying something, really analysing something where you could be working day or night, or they can be. This is where you get home and you just want to be like alone. It's kind of like, listen, I need sanctuary. So your sanctuary could be your animals or actually your room. Okay, but this is what I'm picking up is like making room and time for a relationship where it's fresh and new, and all you do is go through the reflection periods of nostalgia. Okay, so your mind starts to create the where you manifest the actual future of a relationship, because you put it under where it gets put under a microscope, because you think about one another all the time and you kind of go over situations and scenarios, and then what you've got is the high priestess, but the Empress. So it could be a possible Piscean, but it could be anybody. It could be the fact that you're the woman, but someone's grabbing their... You might want to check your something to do with the breast area for women, something to do with that, because I'm picking that up, that if anything is going under the microscope here, if you do have an illness, but people should check generally anyway. Me being a guy, I don't check places I should, but we all should, right? But check the breast area, or there is something that's going on under the micro. Some of you might be looking into what do you call it, a breast enlargement or a breast reduction or something, or there might be a reduction in money or an increase, but I can't really tell. Some messages are coming through, but something to do with that, because I do see this person pointing something out, and she's not actually doing that. But when you're a tarot card reader, you go to the most of, really, Steve, what, you a perv? No. When you're a reader, it gets pointed out to what your eye gets drawn to. Oh my God, put the keys down, Steve. Right, you might be looking into the keys for a home or something is also what I'm picking up. Keys of location of when can I pick it up, because something's being picked up. Okay, now if you are looking into that kind of thing, then that might be what that is relating to, that you might be looking at something of the body of importance, or something that's just going to make you feel better. Okay, but then what you have, obviously, then we start to head towards the Nine of Coins. Now the Nine of Coins would always mean health. So to me at the moment it's saying yes, it's healthy. Whatever it is, it's healthy, and it would be to do with health. But it would be to do with general activists and health, all that kind of thing, the healthy relationship factor. It's still being looked upon and studied, okay? This is kind of like a well-to-do woman as well, so this could have something to do with family members too. But being looked after, the Nine of Coins is always someone that will look after you and treat you well, okay, because they would pay for a date. But you've also completed a lot of things as well with this person or the new people, the new person. You have studied a lot about your life. You've put things under the microscope, and I think a lot of that still will come up, where we can have periods, obviously, through retrograde and a lot, where we can get triggered off in certain ways. So if you are at odds with someone at the moment, I think that it will start to break even, right? I think that might also be to do with like money and things, where things will start to break even. You know, it's evening and leveling out. You're leveling up, obviously, you're leveling up through ascension, and you're starting to have awakenings maybe, and starting to you're probably going to start to see some crazy shit, to be honest, through that card. But you'll just start noticing numbers and like, well, me, you know, I see dead people, so you know, when you walk up to someone and have a conversation, it's just a conversation piece that I like to add in for a start. So, oh my God, who's that behind you? But that's my sense of humour. But you know, leveling up spiritually, finding your path, your way of how to build something. So that might also be a home of how to maybe build another one or move out or move in or something to do with those lines. But also I'm picking up on the work factor, because temperance energy always talks about merging energy together, because Sagittarius energy is very transformative, just the same as Pisces and other mutable signs, Virgo also, Gemini. But mutable, transmuting energy of realizing that things have to change. You know, a mutable sign changes all of the time. They do. So if you're interested in these signs, they are mutable signs. So they would be, if you was having odds and evens with a Sagittarius energy, they're very future infuriating. Sorry, I just had infuriating. But forward-looking people that they like to do things their way, you know. So it's kind of like if you are at odds with a Sagittarius energy, it's kind of like a bit of an odds and evens. Sometimes you're odd, sometimes you're even. What is your name, Stephen? But it could be like odds and evens. But these can also be family members as well, right? But odds and evens. It might be, oh my word, I'm picking up some dynamics to do with other people I know that are Leo. Odds and evens, and the person that could be odd could be Stephen. What do you know, Leo? I see the same mirror, person. But, sorry, it's just someone that's dating my mother. But anyway, we must get on with the show. So, I think that the relationship factor at the moment is in good standing, you know. It's going under a microscope. A dog could also play a major part in someone's life as well. It's kind of like the fox and the hound is what I'm picking up. The fox and the hound. It's like, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing called a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Right? The fox and the hound. The fox is snicking at the hound. So someone's a fox or someone's a fox. So, yeah, Steve, you said that twice. Matchbox 20 is also what I heard. Matchbox 20. It's a band, right? Matchbox 20. 2020 vision. 2020. This person could have 2020 vision, bruv. They might see the future. But they see the future with you. They see the future. They've kind of discovered it, know it. Six of Cups, obviously, soulmate energy. The Hermit, studying, also something to do with like where you would go on Google maybe and you would start to analyse and research. Something is being researched as well, whatever that is, but there would be research going into. If it's a new business venture or a new home or a project or whatever that comes up, you would know, Leo, and that would be you. So you would be analysing situations of businesses and kind of like what you could do together to pull each other up on certain things, you know, because this is a pulling up energy where you get pulled up and you're like, you need to correct that. I keep picking up correctional officer for some, like a correctional officer. Let's have a look. So the Empress, I did pick up a lot to do with bearing childs or bearing up or pairing up. Sorry. So these can be friends, family, obviously, where people are pairing up, you know, pairing up. So I'm picking up on energy that seems to be where it's being cross-matched with other, obviously, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, but other people as well, because soul groups come out through readings as well. But pairing up is what I'm hearing. People are now pairing up. So, like I said, channeled through the beginning, soul groups start to transform their energy and you start to meet different soul groups and values of people where you learn to respect one another of soul groups, and then you learn lessons and it all goes off into the next quarter phase of your life, you know. Your experience of life starts to transform and transmute. you have to transmute and transform with the times. You can't stay doing the same thing in order to experience life. You have to sacrifice stuff to make it better in the end. You're never going to have the better life straight off as soon as it starts. You've got to start off with basically being self-made, so you go forward that way. But that's the energy that I'm picking up through this, that there are energies around where the energy now is completely shifted, and things really do seem to have happened since Saturn went direct. Things just snapped, and everybody just like, fuck, my life's now changing. Everything's, of course, because everything changes but you. Because everything changes but you. You're 1,000 miles apart, but you know I love you, girl. We said goodbye, just one more kiss before I have to go. Yes, stop singing that song, it drives me crazy. Well, we got to add a bit of humour, right, Leo? But that is your general reading at the moment. I do like to add a little bit of humour because I'm a little bit eccentric myself. I do actually have Leo in Midhaven. But we're going to clarify these, and then things really do start to take a turn. So hopefully not it's a turn for the worst, and we're going up for terms and conditions of the agreement of work, relationships, health of the relationship, where it seems to stand at the moment. And if you're going through any dynamics, then really that's when you should reach out for a personal reading in order for me to focus on your energy and not lark around and we go on to the serious parts of the reading. But that is also what we do when we get over to Patreon. Things turn more seriously and we look into draw more of these cards, and then I actually clarify them now with the moment after tarot and see if I can channel some more messages. But things get more serious, so we'll draw some more cards, do those, and this will be over on Patreon. Please make sure that you check out the recommended readers. They are over on the discussion page. Still at the moment it is still Organic Gemini Tarot and Nadia Shah, which is an astrologer. Please pay it forward and go over to those and say hi. You can actually find those two links at the moment over on the discussion page, and then from future forward, if you want to put one, I will link it in the description below, but at the moment they're on the discussion page right at the top. Okay, and other channels that kind of give this idea, which was Soulmate Tarot. But if you want to reach out for a personal reading, the link is below also, and the link to this reading will be Patreon, and you are very more than welcome to join us over on Patreon, and you obviously have access to every reading I do. Just go straight to Patreon and you get full access all the time. Okay, so this reading will be over there, and this is for your October 31st till November 20th, and then we'll obviously carry on through the week just to see where people are getting, and I'll do some different readings throughout the month. Okay, alright guys, thanks very much, Leo, and let's see what's going to happen, guys. Peace.